Hello everyone, welcome to the new review series that I'm doing on this channel. You may recall before I had a series called like Johnny Reviews or whatever, and I would review a movie. Originally, I was going to make this like a 2017 retrospective. Not that kind of retrospective, but just a look over a bunch of movies from 2017. But then I realized it would be like a list of 30 movies, and reviewing 30 movies would take a long ass time. So I decided to cut it down to 10, and not just 2017. This is just 10 movies I've seen recently. So this is just any 10 movies. It doesn't even have to be recent movies. It could be anything else. All of these are recent because, you know, why not? And one of these is from 2018 and is very recent. So yeah, there's not really a theme. Sometimes there will be a theme, but this doesn't have any real theme. I have 3 ratings. Very simple. I don't like rating systems. You're not going to see numbers. The most rating you'll see is I have must watch, maybe watch, and don't watch. Very simple. Must watch means I think you should watch it. Definitely. Maybe watch it means you might like it. And don't watch it means you probably won't like it. So it's very simple. That's it. Just FYI, this video is going to be a lot more rambly. It's not scripted, so I'm just going to talk and edit that down, basically. So if that's not your thing, then feel free to just skip this video. So we'll start off. Like I said, this originally was a 2017, a look over of 2017 in movies. And it was supposed to end with me talking about this movie because it was my favorite movie of last year. It was Good Time. This movie was a good time. No, it was, it's one of my favorite movies where it's just one really shitty situation and it just keeps getting worse. I'm just kind of a sucker for those types of movies, and this was really well made. I don't really know what to say about it because it's just one of those movies that I can't really criticize. I feel like an asshole for criticizing. It's so good, I feel like criticizing it is kind of doing it a disservice. Yeah, it's one of the best movies I've seen in recent years. Favorite movie of 2017, it's a must watch. So now we move on to the movie that I saw in theaters recently, Ready Player One. I saw this in the theater recently. I read the book. I read it when I was like 15 because I was big into geek culture. It's an okay story wrapped in shit. The shit is the needless pop culture references. Hey, remember the DeLorean? I honestly kind of think of this movie as the same as the book. It's an okay movie trapped in the shit of having these pop culture references. I was a little surprised because I didn't hate it. I was expecting to hate it because the reason I didn't hate it was because they had these pop culture references, but they weren't really in your face. They didn't, like, I don't know how to put this. They didn't, I mean, some of them were definitely in your face, like the DeLorean, and there's one scene with Chucky that's really distracting. But other than that, they're just like shit in the background that I'm sure tons of people do, like 1,001 things you missed in this movie. I think that's why I didn't hate it so much. The last 10 minutes of this movie is so like emotionally hammy. Yeah, it was alright. There's not much to say about it. I'd say maybe watch it if you're into geek culture, but if you're not, you really won't get much out of it. Moving on, we have a movie that came out early last year, was Split. I'm pretty sure everyone's seen it by now. Everyone knows the twist, but I won't spoil it. None of these reviews will be spoilers, by the way. The Split was pretty good. I'm glad M. Night Shyamalan stopped being he stopped treating his movies seriously, because they really weren't that serious. I think that was the problem, was with like Signs and The Happening. He started to treat himself like this very pretentious artist, and it's like The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable. Those are just like movies. Like they're they're not grand artistic statements. They're just really good movies. Um, I think that was the problem with M. Night Shyamalan and with The Visit and now Split. He sort of moved away from that. He stopped treating himself like this important artist that's saying something, and just started making an entertaining movie. Although The Visit wasn't really that good. Main actor was great. I forget his name because I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah, it builds the tension well, which I was surprised because in The Visit it's just like kind of scenes happen. It's not really much tension. Yeah, I quite like Split. I would say maybe watch it because there are some weird parts in it. Like there's some lines of dialogues that are just like, what? Kids dialogue is not good. I mean, it's okay. It's not like cringeworthy, but it's it's not exactly how kids talk. It's like how kids in movies talk. Thankfully, they aren't as annoying. I'll take the kids in Split over the kids in The Visit any day, because the kids in The Visit, if I had to hear that fucking kid rap one more time, I was gonna shoot myself. So next, we have Alien Covenant, the first fully bad film in this series. So I'm a big fan of the Alien series, the first one being one of my favorite movies. So I wanted to see Alien Covenant. It sucked ass. And it's not even bad in an interesting way. Like some of the other movies in this list, they're bad, but in an interesting enough way to where I can see somebody liking them. But Alien Covenant is so bland and forgettable. I can barely remember. I think I remember two scenes about it. I remember the scene with the two robots playing the flute. And then I think the ending fight scene with the alien was okay, I guess. It was visual soup. The whole movie was visual soup. I don't remember anything. I barely remember anything about it, which really goes to show you how good a movie is. I would take a bad movie over a forgettable movie any day, and holy shit, Alien Covenant was forgettable. Say what you want about Prometheus or even Alien 3 or 4, I remember those, and I've seen those like one time. I've seen Alien Covenant once and I barely remember it, so I think that goes to show you a lot about. Number 5 is the movie I think a lot of people have probably already seen, is Baby Driver. The reason a lot of people probably already saw this movie was because it was directed by Edgar Wright, who's thankfully getting more of a following now in the U.S. This was a commercial hit in the U.S., thankfully. I think his other movies flopped hard. But yeah, he directed the Cornetto trilogy and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which are some of my favorite movies again. So obviously I went to see Baby Driver. It was probably his weakest movie, mainly just because it doesn't really outlive the gimmick of the movie. Like Scott Pilgrim, it's a video game movie. It's a video game themed movie, but it kind of rises above that, and it has more than that. The characters are really interesting. The romance is great. It becomes more than just, oh, this movie has some video game stylization added to it, which is another problem with Ready Player One. To move back is that it doesn't really come above the pop culture references back to Baby Driver. If you don't know, the gimmick of this movie is that it has pretty much the whole movie is set to music. The love story just kind of drags it down, and the story isn't that great. So yeah, it's definitely one of his weakest films, but that's still pretty good. It's still great. I still love this movie just because of how it was made. It has scenes that are set entirely to music, and it's done incredibly well. I would say this is a must watch, because even to a layman, it's still impressive to see these scenes choreographed to the music. There are movies that are extremely well made, but to a layman, to someone who's not into film, it's not obvious how well the movie is made. But this movie, you could show this to anyone and they will probably be impressed with how it was made. I would say it's a must watch. I think anyone could get enjoyment out of it. The love story's a little weak. You probably won't watch it that many more times afterwards, but I think it's worth a watch. I'd say it's a must watch. Then we have It. So It was a movie that came out in September that blew up and got huge and everyone raved about it. I thought it was good. I think my main problem with it is that every scary thing that happens in this movie is accompanied with a loud and it's just really fucking annoying after a while. The kids actually talk like real kids in this movie, which was great. I'm so shocked after, seeing movies like Split where the kids just talk like movie kids. They swear, they talk shit to each other. I liked it. It had some creative scenes. It was visually good. I forget the guy's name, but I liked his performance as the clown. I liked a lot of I think there were lots of good ideas here. I think they just could have been done better. One of the main problems with the movie is the tone. The tone of this movie is so all over the place. They have scenes like they have this scene where blood shoots out of the sink and it goes everywhere, and then the kids have to clean up the blood, and they turn on a fucking boombox and start dancing to music. Like, we just went from something that was supposed to be scary and frightening and then 5 minutes later we're having this whimsy, quirky scene, and it doesn't work, and it just detracts from the scariness of the previous scene. So next we have the shitty movie Happy Death Day. Fuck this movie. I was expecting this to be a piece of shit. This could have been an inventive horror comedy, something like Tucker and Dale versus Evil, or Cabin in the Woods. But no, it was just shit. If you don't know, it's basically Groundhog's Day, but horror. And it's about as cookie cutter as you could fucking get with this concept. Oh, I'm going outside and all the same things are happening. I try and tell someone, but they don't believe me. So I predict the things that's gonna happen, and then they start to believe me. If you've seen any fucking movie where someone relives the same day over and over again, you've seen this movie. It's the same except with a killer. That's it. I wouldn't even say it's outrageously bad. I say it's just kind of bland. There are a few moments that are pretty fucking bad though. Like, the main heroine does something heroic, I guess, and then she has this action line like after she does it that's supposed to be triumphant, and it's so fucking bad, as if we're supposed to cheer for her or some shit. It's so bad. Yeah, Happy Death Day was not good. Yeah, it really wasn't. No, I'm gonna rearrange the order a little bit here. Next, we don't have a bad movie. We have a good movie based on a bad movie, The Disaster Artist. I think everyone was kind of excited for this movie because it was based on the infamous The Room, and it was okay. I think most people have said what it needs to be said about this movie. James Franco's Tommy Wiseau was great. He really captured the essence of Tommy Wiseau. I think I'm actually a little bit biased for this movie because I know who Tommy Wiseau is and I know what The Room is. So when I see those references, I kind of like those things. The scenes that, like the scene that's shown in the trailer with him trying to do the line over and over again. That's funny to me because I know how funny and how bad the original delivery of the line was. But to someone who's never seen the original Room before, they're not gonna get it. I think that's the main problem, is that if someone hasn't seen The Room, they're not gonna get this movie. They're not gonna like it. I kind of like the drama between Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero. I thought it was kind of interesting. I like how Tommy was just was actually portrayed negatively, which I was surprised at. I was expecting the actual Tommy Wiseau to stop that shit dead in its tracks, so I was surprised about that. I thought it was okay. The ending of this movie was like really dramatized and not not good. It was just overly like I'll say it was overly this really cheesy emotional ending that I like in theory, but could have been done much better. And it wasn't that ending wasn't that good. Maybe watch it. It was all right. Don't watch it if you haven't seen The Room. So then we have The Disaster. That was the Justice League movie. Holy shit! It wasn't as bad as something like Batman v Superman. I didn't see Wonder Woman, but I heard it was fine. The Justice League isn't as bad as Suicide Squad or Batman v Superman. But this one's still bad, don't get me wrong. It's just the least bad. Let's start with the special effects that look like they're out of a fucking PS2 game. And there's just so much... It looks like a cartoon. Like, so much of this movie... Like, there's a scene where Batman's driving through this, like, red city, and it looks like a fucking cartoon. There's so much computer shit. There's so much computer animation shit everywhere that it just looks like a cartoon. This whole movie looks and feels like a cartoon. Especially because Joss Whedon took over midway through. Originally it was going to be a dark, bleak Zack Snyder movie, and then Joss Whedon came on and pretty much just turned the fucking brightness up on the movie, so it looks even more ridiculous. These characters are having this lofty dialogue about, about whatever the fuck's going on, and it's like so bright, and their costumes look fucking stupid. It would have made more sense in a Zack Snyder setting because you wouldn't have been able to see the costumes as well, so it wouldn't be as silly. But you have these bright costumes, and then you have this serious dialogue, and then you have this shit. Oh god, it's a mess. Villain was so fucking stupid. I don't even know. DC is fucked. They're batting 0 for 3 in my eyes. I haven't seen Wonder Woman, but they're 0 and 3 in my eyes. And next is supposed to be an Aquaman movie. Good luck with that one. I'm sure people are just clamoring to see the Aquaman movie.
Shut the fuck up, faggot. The Aquaman movie is gonna be the best movie of 27...
I really didn't like this movie. It was a pile of shit. The sad part is that it's not as big a pile of shit as Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman. It's the best DC movie I've seen, which isn't saying much. That's the sad part about it, is that it's the best DC movie. Don't watch it. And now we move on to our final movie, the 10th movie. Very special movie. We've talked a lot about lots of good and bad movies, but now we're going to talk about a so bad it's good movie. Like I said, I mentioned earlier, The Room. That movie was infamous for being so bad it was funny, and this movie may not be as funny as The Room, but it is hilarious. We have Wish Upon. Holy fucking shit, this movie was so bad it was funny. So basically, this girl gets a wish box, and whenever she makes a wish, it kills someone, but it's not someone she knows. Because there's like 2 deaths in the movie that she doesn't even know the people who die. So it's just someone that the movie chooses to die. It's not like, oh, someone she knows will die. It's just anyone. And it's so nonsensical. The fucking dialogue for the kids is like is so fucking bad. Like, You remember when I was talking about Split and I said, oh, the dialogues for the kids aren't cringy? This is fucking cringy. They they talk about like hashtags, I think, and it's so bad. At one point, this girl plays like a rip-off Pokemon Go game, and the movie came out in 2017. It's fucking bad. The ending was hilarious. This whole movie was great. Oh god. It just keeps getting more ridiculous and more stupid and more hilarious as it goes on. The ending of this movie is a comedic masterpiece. I may make a full review, like a full video review just on this movie because it is so hilariously bad. The girl has a love interest and she's like into multiverses for some fucking reason, and then so she has this love interest with this guy, and the guy's like, yo, you dig on multiverses? Like, that's an actual line of dialogue in the fucking movie. It's so bad, and it's so hilarious. I would recommend this movie because it's so bad. I'd say it's a must-watch. Although, put a little asterisk next to that because some people don't really like the so bad it's good genre. I showed one of my family members the Room once, like the first 5 minutes, and they didn't get it. They didn't think it was funny. They were just like, "This is a bad movie. What's so funny about it?" It's a very specific taste you have to have for garbage. Wish Upon is very good garbage indeed. I may do a CineasteStudios watches. I may do a movie night video on this because it's so bad. So that was the first ever 10 movies I've seen recently. Sorry, I think this went on long. I've been recording for like an hour. My throat hurts. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. I don't. God. Let me know if you want more of these. I may do more, maybe not. If this video turns out like shit, then I won't. But thank you for watching regardless, and see you next time. Also, leave recommendations for what movies I should talk about next in the next 10 movies I see recently, if I even do this again. So, thank you. Goodbye.